Good morning, everyone. It's a balmy 30 degrees in New Jersey, so I'm out here on a run and I thought I would do a post because last night I had a nightmare. And the nightmare was like, not sort of like the obvious kind of nightmare, like nobody was getting killed or raped or murdered or like something like this. It wasn't like Freddy Krueger, but I thought it was really telling because in this dream there was a big red boat that I purchased, and it was like really funny looking because it was all rusty. It had a hole in it, and like it was like a shit vessel, like, bro, like, what are you doing buying this boat? And it was in my garage in Spring Valley, New York, and it's kind of big, kind of looked like a little ironically like a little Titanic. So then it was in front of the garage and a bunch of guys were going to be putting it on dollies. Don't ask me why. And I kept telling them, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. And they ignored. And then they tried to get this stupid thing on dollies and it fell over and failed. Just, like totally got destroyed. And I realized that the anxiety in this dream or in this nightmare for me is that men don't listen, right? They're not listening. And I have this experience quite a bit. This idea of like mansplaining or not listening to like victims as they're kind of screaming about the Epstein files. And I know a lot of my clients and a lot of my followers have this same kind of experience of like screaming from the mountaintops about an abuser or a rapist president or whatever they're, experiencing, and just being completely ignored. Like, who runs across the entire state of New York in a wedding dress? That's like me screaming, like, don't go in the garage, he's got a freaking chainsaw. And screaming about all of this stuff and seeing all the Epstein files is definitely kicking up a ton of stuff for myself and my clients, because they're coming into session talking about this feeling of like injustice, like why isn't anyone listening, right? That feeling. And so I thought I would do a post about it just so you know you're not alone, like that feeling of like not being heard. I remember one time we did a charity ride for St. Jude's at Lifetime in Montvale, and I rode 200 miles on the spin bike for a week. It was like, what was it? I guess 40 miles a day, 5 days a week. And by like day 4, any triathletes out there that are listening to this, you learn that when you ride a lot, you have to use like Glide or Vaseline, like in certain parts of your body so they don't get chafed for the wetsuit or on a bike. And by day 4, I was like kind of like sore in different spots. And, I'm riding, but I'm out of the saddle. I come out of the saddle because I can't sit, it hurts. And there's some guy next to me. He's like, get down in the saddle. You'll do better if you get down in the saddle. I'm like, how many Ironman events have you done? Like, did anybody ask you? You have no idea what I'm going through in my life. Like, you have no idea what's going on and why I'm out of the saddle. Mind your business. And it's this feeling of like being unseen and unheard that makes me crazy. It really does. It's hard. And I remember this happening on my bicycle outside. I was actually, I have an $8,500 tri-bike. And again, I go to pass this guy. I come out of the saddle and he's like, if you get down in the saddle. And I slow down. I'm like, what part of this like Ironman tattoo, what part of this bicycle looks like I don't know how to ride a bike? You know what I mean? Like, shut up. And so this feeling of being unheard, unseen, having people like mansplain and tell you things you already know, and being like, am I here? Do you see me? Like, what's going on? That feeling of being unseen and the injustice of that is like, I think, a core experience for women, and certainly people who have been abused, and certainly now with the Epstein file. So if you're watching this, I believe you, I see you, I hear you, you are not alone.